Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Joel Bayer and I'm here with my guy.
We saying yes, Flex. I had to come through. Had to come through, man. Away from the take on, away from the hustle and bustle, because we have to talk, man.
This is a serious topic and we need to get into it straight away. Obviously, it's serious for you and the fan base. And we said, you know what, why don't we just get together and have an honest chat about it? No banter, no, let's just talk real. Manchester United Football Club. Obviously, you've known them to be successful for the majority of your whole life. Obviously, since Sir Alex has gone, there's been ups and downs, but it's probably at the worst you've seen it, would you say?
This is the worst, absolutely. This is, I thought under Ralph Rangnick and Ollie, both that season, but Ralph Rangnick was obviously interim. I thought that was the worst Man United I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a lot of people way older than me that will say different. In my lifetime, this is by far the worst Man United team I've ever seen. That's been superseded by this year. So bad.
Sorry, I just want you guys in the comments as well to let us know what you think needs to be done. This is an open conversation between not just United fans, but across the board. So, but we've got here Flex speaking. Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
The thing about it is when you're in dire straits, right, and you're in your cycle of being terrible, let's say, right? Because all the big clubs have had it. Liverpool did it for many, many years. Arsenal only now knocking on the door for their first title in 20 years, So football is cyclical. Man United, through my years of growing up, I'm 36 now, so all through in school, through the mid-millennials,
best team,
90s, we were the best. No one, you know what I mean? And now we're not for a good over a decade, and it happens just like that. And you go, hang on a minute, we're now in an 11th year of mediocrity, of poor. But the problem is that when it gets like that, you're obviously looking for some blame. You need to look at why this has happened, which should happen. But the problem is you want to almost blame one thing that can fix it. And the problem is with Man United is that because it's been so mismanaged for such a long time, there is no wand or one single decision that can fix it in one go. So when you're trying to attribute blame, and our fan base, I will be a bit biased, but I believe is the biggest. There's so many different opinions, there's so many different sides of the coins, and some people refuse to budge from one side and see the proportion of blame towards the A. Another side refuses to budge and see the proportion of blame towards B. There are some people, I know you say flip-flop flex or fence flex, they call me on United View, because I take a while to really take this thing in before. Because I also think there's in New Age football, there's also this sort of emphasis on, are you in or out?
Quick reaction.
Are you Arteta in or Arteta out? Wenger in, Wenger out. Ollie in, Ollie out. Ten Hag in or out. And if you don't pick, you're just on the fence. You must know, this is the whole reason. This has been wrong for so long. Sometimes you should take a deeper dive into things to really decide, hang on, what is it that I actually think? Because social media will throw you stats and throw you XGs and throw you, since this day and this manager, no one's ever got as least points as this and this, that and the other. And the same social media will say, no one's ever experienced this much injuries, and in this first season, it's this and it's that. So you really have to, it's a personal thing. And I think the problem is that as a fan base, we obviously want to have answers and all agree on one thing of why it's wrong. And the truth of the matter is, especially with football being the game that it is about opinions, you can't do it. For me, if you can say what's wrong, where do I see it?
I want you to break it down a little bit. Obviously, since post-Fergie, if you can go down the timeline, I think that gives people a bit of background. There's obviously younger generations watching as well. But at the same time, what's gone wrong today? I want us to finish on what's gone wrong today, and also what needs to be done. So then there's a timeline.
Yeah. Well, post Fergie, obviously, look, Fergie was instrumental in bringing in David Moyes to the club, which didn't work. The job was really big for him, like it is for anyone, especially after Sir Alex Ferguson, which is nigh on impossible. Impossible. The decisions that were made and the backing that was made at the time wasn't good enough for David Moyes. I'm going to give him that credit as well in terms of what he got.
Prior to that, don't you think that maybe the Glazers, it was always going to go left, but with Fergie, you had a strong enough manager to like.
He masked it all, mate.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Him and David Gill, right, as a pairing, masked it all because he's that good.
Yeah,
that good. And also, the Glazers were extremely lucky. They had a manager like Sir Alex Ferguson, who, let's be honest, he is Manchester United. Yeah. In that era, obviously nobody's bigger than the club, but that's Fergie's institution, yeah? So what he says goes. The market, the success he's had, the respect he's got, David Gill being astute with the deals and working on, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
So as soon as you take that out, you expose the Glazers for what they really have been, because there's this misconception that Man United fans are only moaning because they lose Glazers out green and white till it's sold. No, we've been doing Glazers out from way back when we've been winning titles. Always there. Famous picture of Beckham wearing it, walking in the tunnel, mate. Like, because they threw a Glazers out scarf and then he picked it up. Did he know what he was doing? I don't know. But he picked up, like, we've been doing this, yeah? So it exposed the institution for what it really was, which is owners at the top who really don't care about the football club, who are more concerned with lining their pockets and extracting, and were able to do so for a very long time because of the manager they had. Now, a new era began, which now needs owners to make good decisions, bring people in, have a plan, etc., etc., etc. But what happened is that people who had been part of the old regime stayed. You're talking about Richard Arnold, Ed Woodward, John Murtough. These guys are only just leaving now, by the way, which I'll bring it to the present day.
Yeah.
So decisions were poor. Recruitment was poor. Money was wasted. Players were bought that were nowhere near it. Players were rewarded with new contracts that were nowhere near it. And, you know, 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by, and you just think, oh, we'll get good again. It's fine, we'll get it. Oh, big stuff. Oh, there's Di Maria, lovely. He was man of the match in the Champions League final last year. Lovely. Falcao, remember when he put Ashley Cole in his arse, mate, in the Super Cup against you know what I mean? Little dink over the wicked, let's go. You know, oh, Schweinsteiger, wow, World Cup winner. Oh, look at this, mate. Oh, Memphis Depay, he's the next Beckham. Oh, he's the next this, he's the next that. You know, so many wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Goes into LVG, stylistically, you know, had a clear style and philosophy of what he wanted to do. Had some success, but again, it was stagnating, it was boring, it was stale. Move on from him. Let's go get a proven winner.
But don't you? It's so mad. Like during that time, what was the issue? Was it that you weren't high up the table enough, or was it that
it's both?
Is it a personality thing as well?
Because he was also a personality that essentially kind of calls out why the institution's not good, and José did the same thing. And these situations are still ever present and are only being undone now in the present day. Yeah. Some managers where we've accused them of moaning and saying, oh, just do your job, they're working under this same regime that we know stinks. And what's happened is now it's taken for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and those guys to come in now to undo it. So, yeah, look, I mean, essentially, LVG, yeah, he didn't have massive success at Man United, but again, it's not an uncommon theme. He came with good stock, came with a good reputation. All of a sudden, he's a bad manager. José Mourinho.
I mean, he won an FA Cup.
Won an FA Cup, yeah. José Mourinho won a couple of trophies, won the Carabao Cup and won the Europa League. Famously said second was his best ever achievement. We laughed. It's what José does, isn't it? You look back in 10 years and you go, tell you what, mate.
What
he had a point, mate.
Europa,
what a job.
Obviously, Community Shield's one.
And then we backed him with bloody, if I'm not mistaken, Lee Grant, Dallo, and Fred, I want to say.
Yeah, Fred.
Like at the point when he wanted XYZ, couldn't get it. So
I mean, he got Sanchez as well.
Yeah, again, that's what I mean. Bad decisions have been made. You know, Lukaku was there as well.
Oh, Lukaku.
You know, big money. Yeah. So I'm not really.
I mean, are they all bad decisions? Because at the time, for example, and this is me looking from the outside as well. At the time, Lukaku, to be fair, he, you know, what I mean, didn't look like it was a bad decision. Yeah,
I was happy, mate. It was between him and Morata in that summer. And then they both changed over.
I'm not really a fan of Morata.
Same.
Personally.
Absolutely.
But then also Sanchez, it felt a bit like RVP 2.0 in the sense where I thought, oh, you've taken our guy. And I think we must not forget, Sanchez at the time, Arsenal Sanchez, in my opinion, was better than Barcelona Sanchez, maybe minus the last year.
I was just about to say, but at the point we got him, he actually wasn't playing to that level he was the previous couple years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it, but I was gassed. I was like, yes, we've done it to Arsenal again. Guard of honour coming.
Yeah.
It's like that's what's going to happen. And again, huge wages. Paul Pogba back to the club, 90 million, leaves the club. How many? 6 years later, or whatever it is, for free again. Didn't work out.
Do you think the whole picking Paul Pogba over José was a big turning point in the club as well?
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. Again, I'm not trying to distance myself from like being caught up in this like, oof.
The hype.
Yeah. I said absolutely not. José, idiot. Nah, not having that. That famous clip of him running to training and him going, what?
I remember.
Paul, tell him, man. Toxic, he's falling out of all the players. It's him, it's José. He always does this.
He was wrong for that particular argument.
For that particular argument, yeah, absolutely. But in general, about, the Paul Pogba-ism, it was always we need to unlock him or on his day and all these excuses for someone who's so good. As well as Manchester United as an institution is broken. Everybody who passes through it comes out worse. The institution is broken. It really, really is.
Letting go of Herrera.
At that time, didn't even get respect. I spoke to him about that afterwards, actually. And
did you?
Yeah, and he was
very passionate about it.
Very passionate. Still loves Man United to this day. Didn't get a proper send-off. He just got told, similar to when Rio was saying, Ed Woodward just came up and said, oh, mate. Do you know what I mean? So many, and these are the guys that are still there, failing and failing and failing, while the Glazers are taking. Look at the stadium, look at the playing squad, look at Carrington. All of these things just been left to rot. So it got to a point whereby the Glazers went, well, the only way out of this is to either sell it all, which we're greedy and don't really want to let go of one of the biggest clubs in the world, or let somebody else come in and invest. Because we're not doing it. We're not putting our own... We could put our own hands in our pocket and really do this ourselves. But we're not.
We don't want to.
We've sold 1.2 billion of it. So we're nice. We're still majority owners. So we're nice. And somebody else is fronting up all of the football operations. So when it goes pear-shaped, it's in, mate. Yeah. Sorry.
Which to be... on their
from a
side,
business perspective,
from a business perspective on their side, that's really clever because no one saw that coming. We thought it's either going to be, the Qataris or it's either, but they've
played a blinder, mate. They've never had any intention of fully selling it.
Nah.
So they've played a blinder. So we're on to them. We ain't forgot just because it's Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS. They're still Glazers out, 100%.
They wanted the Super League as well, which
exactly, and that was the demise of Ed Woodward. He went after that as well, when that collapsed. And so years and years of failure, years and years of bad management, years and years of bad decisions made off the field, years and years of neglect. That's the key word, neglect, to an amazing institution, right? And to the present day, when you look at what's now beginning to happen, is real tangible change. Now, we don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know how good Omar Barada's going to be at his job. I don't know how well Dan Ashworth's going to do when he finally gets here. I don't know how well Jason Wilcox is going to do. We have to wait and see. But one thing what we can say, what is just a fact, is that we are seeing the most significant changes at the football club since the Glazers have been there. So INEOS, what they're doing is stripping it all out. And that leads us into the present squad and what's going on. Look, Erik ten Hag came into Man United with a very good CV. Up and coming manager, done great stuff at Ajax, plays attractive football. And of course, everybody sort of looked at what he did with the Ajax team in that Champions League run and the type of football they played, and rightly so. And I went there to experience it myself on the way in for him to come. And he had a very good first season. Third, Carabao Cup, FA Cup final. He was praised for how he dealt with Ronaldo by most.
At the time.
By most at the time.
Yeah.
By most. Some, ex-pros and senior man would still say, nah, that's Ronaldo, mate. You got to find a way. He's one of the greatest goal scorers ever. You can't tell me he's rubbish.
I think it was, it was becoming a little bit difficult for him because whether he wanted to keep him or not, that's one thing. But I think when you've got players, leaving at half-time and doing interviews, I know the interview came a lot afterwards, but
it was over.
It puts him in a position because it's kind of like, it's either me or you here who's going to get the respect. Completely different 100%. Class of players, but it's Mikel and Aubameyang, completely different.
But it's the same principle.
But it's like, am I going to be...
I can't assert myself at this football club in a new Man United with you here. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's too powerful.
Yeah.
It is that. Yeah. I have to pick the youngsters and what I'm trying to do over you.
The only people who are really good at that, is I think Ancelotti and Zidane got that down
big
to
man.
a T.
The big man in the game, and Erik ten Hag is not that. Like, he's up and coming and he's got a good CV, but let's not.
Mourinho to an extent.
Oh,
he's been doing
big
that with
characters.
Zlatan. Like,
They've
he
been
knows
there
how
and they've done it.
to
Do you know what I'm saying?
get your wife on side.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if Pep's is that good.
No, that's what I'm saying. It just he chooses. Nah, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
I'm not having people be bigger than me.
Yeah.
So it depends on your management style, but you have to choose. So, but he got praise at the time. Harry Maguire stripped him of the captaincy. Not initially.
Dealt with it well.
Dealt with it well. Phased him out. He wasn't starting games. Then gave the captain to Bruno at the end of the season. You're going, yeah.
And now he's got Maguire playing for him as well.
And now he's got Maguire playing for him. He's brought through the youngsters. You look at the emergence of Kobbie Mainoo. That wasn't by accident. It's very well documented that Erik ten Hag's come in and gone, who's that kid?
Oh, really?
He's coasting.
Oh, really?
Under 23s, please. He's done it. He said it.
Okay.
He said it in an interview. So he's attributed to that. Garnacho had teething problems at the start of his attitude, had to keep him out a bit. Now look at him. He's starting week in, week out for Man United in his second season. And he's got to improve.
Playing too much sometimes.
Playing too much, absolutely. No help from the senior pros. Marcus Rashford, I know this version is not good, but last year, singing his praises. My God, Marcus Rashford, 30 goals. No manager's ever got that out of him. Season before, he was arguing with the fans in the parking lot. That's what Marcus was doing, because he was in a bad place. Jadon Sancho got praised for that at the beginning, in terms of getting him going. Then he had a bit of a wobble, sent him off, help, support, brought him back. It's a good, positive relationship. Then it starts falling. Then we're starting to see players misbehaving. Then we're starting to see results start to go bad. Then we're starting to see mentality of players not be there. Of course, there's been a lot of injuries. And just to bring it to now, it's like, well, INEOS have a massive decision to make. Take the fan thing out of it, of he needs to go, he's clueless, look how rubbish we are, or hurry up, just give him time, look at the injuries. Forget all of that for 2 seconds. The people who make the decisions have shown us, as fans, anyone can get it. Richard Arnold, gone. John Murtough, gone. Before the end of the season, Darren Fletcher moved across to, we like Darren, you're a good guy, you're a club man. In it though, you're not technical director no more, that's Jason Wilcox. But I tell you what, between that thing between the youth team and...
Who is he?
Who, Jason? Jason? I don't actually know the exact... They're fine. It's one of them where you can stay.
To be confirmed.
Exactly. But John Murtough, bro, out before the end of the season. INEOS could have gone, you know what, we're not hardly playing anything now. Yeah. No, now. Jason Wilcox starts straight away.
I saw him at the FA Cup final as well, actually. Semi-final, sorry.
Does that not show that they've cut? And this, bro, they've only been ratified in February, bro. So in that time, he's got Omar Barada out of Manchester City. He was third in the command to Tiki. Right, was going to be up there. I've done a piece with Jonan Lescott. He explained to me a lot about who Omar Barada is, and because he knows him personally, has worked with him in the City Academy. A wicked video, really insightful. It's on United View. Check it out. I
love it. I'd love to watch.
So he explains, I said, because how high up the table was he at City? Because some people would just say, oh, whatever, man. He just used to get the A4 piece of paper and get a bit of Tipex for them, man, if they make a mistake. That's all he did. No, but some people can just... I've made that up on the spot. But some people can try to discredit how...
Mad. You never
Twitter's
know.
Crazy. Yeah. He said, nah. Yeah. They had plans for him to be the next Tiki.
Okay.
He's probably third in the chain.
Oh, wow.
So he's left there. A great establishment, 115 charges. But they're a great establishment, right, who have done everything right. 115 charges.
Bro, I'm on this 115
charges
yeah. Thing. Now I'm
absolutely.
Proper on it now that we're challenging a little bit, 100%. I know how it feels.
But if I don't say it, because people say, but they cheated. But in terms of what we've seen them do on the pitch with the recruitment, they've done it, yeah? If they get done for things in the background, cool. But I'm saying the decisions they made and the types of players they buy, the talent, they've done it. The academy, it's been done. The
system's brilliant.
The system, the whole Etihad campus, the infrastructure, it's been done. That's the benchmark. Even if they cheated, this is the fact, yeah? So they've got him out of Man City. They've got Dan Ashworth trimming hedges, doing garden leave. He ain't going back to Newcastle. We'll get him. He's coming to Man United. Jason Wilcox in. Jean-Claude Blanc and Sir Dave Brailsford are navigating and doing. They're going around Carrington every day, just, right? I'm noting that, right? Cool. This, that,
are they doing that already?
Yes, they've been doing that since the start.
All right.
Hence why these things are, do you know what I mean? So... as INEOS, if you're looking at our current results and you're looking at where Man United are now under this manager, and he's not your guy, you didn't bring him in, you don't have to stand by him, and you're clearing out everything anyway, there's every chance that they can go, okay, we may as well start again. We're starting again anyway. And people would push back to that and say, well, give Ten Hag time. He needs more time. It's a process, etc., etc. But people sometimes forget that the moment Sir Jim Ratcliffe came to the football club and 25% of our club changed and the whole football operation, it's a new process. Instantly. This is not even the same regime Erik Ten Hag signed up to be in. All them people are gone. So now it's about an alignment of vision. It's not really an alignment of, I've seen the hardships you've gone through and this, that and the other. Do INEOS think that their vision aligns with Erik Ten Hag's? Do they think that under their new structure, with the way they're going to run the club, with the way they're going to have recruitment and strip it down and rebuild it, do they see him being able to fit into that? That's the question. That's it. So as fans, we're doing this, because I get it, we're fans, fans are going to go, no, the worst thing they can do is sack him, but we always do this. Some people are like, no, how can you, we've seen enough. But the truth of the matter is that it's down to them. It's down to INEOS. And I just think they've seen, personally, I just think they're looking at it and going, nah, I think we're going to change anyway. Let's get a whole new thing.
Well, I think we need to be having more of these chats, when it comes to our football club. I think another one we should be having as well, maybe with someone like Turkish, is where the different football clubs are, i.e. mine, we've got Joey Knight who comes in here. Progress reports, man. It's really important because we're not in an era no more where the fans don't know anything or don't want to know anything. No, they want to know.
100%.
So I really appreciate your time. Please make sure you press that like button, man. We put in some time and effort in this, and we had Flex come in extra early as well. Ahead of
tired.
Extra
I got down early. Right now at time of recording, 6:30 a.m.
and also please make sure you watch his show, The Take On, with Anton and Abby. They're absolutely smashing it. And we will be back soon. Peace.